Hey guys, welcome back to episode 21 of Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. So this episode, we're definitely getting the creative power cell. I have been doing some preparations off camera here. I've also been doing a bit of building. I've tidied up this area so that the walls aren't floating either. So I've just been doing a bit of terraforming, making good use of the building gadget and exchanging gadgets. I exchanged some of the front blocks here as well. This grass all still needs to grow. I'm not sure if I'll... Well, this part here will need some more terraforming. I'll probably plant some more trees, bone meal it a bit, and then, yeah, make it look a bit nicer. But let's get on to what we're doing today. So, creative power cell. I believe I have now everything I need for this. The Californium RTGs that I said I was missing last time, I did go out and hunt a dragon. It only took me like 5 minutes or so. There was one that way, about 200 blocks. So I've put in the 2 packages here for a creative power cell. And I think we can get everything. So yeah, we can get the first one, and that was, what was that, index 1? Yep, that's index 1 done. Index 0, can we get index 0? We're missing the two solar arrays, which I believe I have both packages for actually. I just have to unpack them, and they should be craftable. So if we put these two, oops, not like that. Actually, yes, like that. I'll do one at a time, just so that the ingredients don't get mixed up. So I think this goes in the tier 3. Tier 2 table. So that's 1. There's 2. And then this should be the tier 5, yep. So there's the 2 tier 5 controllers, 2 tier 4 controllers. We can put those away. That's also our quest. And then now we should be able to make index 0 of the creative power cell. It looks like we have everything now. So that'll start crafting. I did put in the recipe for these rainbow generators. It's just, it's a lot of steps here, but these Ep21 cores, especially, they take a lot of red coal, like 1,000 pieces each. And that's a very slow process because it's in the resonator, even though I have it max upgraded. So yeah, I just let that craft while I was building. These speed upgrades, these aren't really too bad. We have this all automated now. And then the draconic flux capacitor, we have all this automated, so this was really quick actually to make. The hardest part of this was just putting in all the recipes for this. So if we look at like the molecular assemblers here, like pretty much all of this down is just for creative power. And there's obviously, it uses some more stuff up above it as well. But yeah, I have a lot of recipes now encoded. What would you do without AE2 though? Crafting the rainbow generator also gave all the quests for our extra utilities, so that's that page now complete as well. This craft's actually taking a while. I hope it's not stuck on anything. We're currently crafting what? Wyvern cores? They're made in the advanced carpenter. Maybe we're out of primal mana. I should go and check on that actually. Just to make sure we aren't getting stuck on anything. Are you running? No. Why not? Okay, we're full on mana. These things were in the input port, and I don't know why, because blocking mode is on. I have blocking mode on in this interface. So it shouldn't have been put in there when there was nothing. Yeah, like it needs the wyvern cores and the energy cores. I'm not sure why there's extra shulker shells. I've noticed that before as well. Like, the recipe says 2 shulker shells for a wyvern core, and I'm sure that's the right amount. Oh, it's just the 1 shulker shell. Maybe that's why it's getting stuck then. I should edit that recipe. Alright, I double checked both recipes. Turns out both of them were wrong. They were off by 1 item. And I think what happened was I imported this recipe, which is more expensive than this one for both, which is why there was some extra inputs in here. But I believe, yeah, the craft now finished, so we don't actually need these extra. It was just a inconsistency with the recipe, and because there was blocking mode, that's why I got stuck. So that should now be resolved for the future. But anyways, we now have the 2 packages for creative power cell. So if we unpack these, this should be everything we need for the power cell. Okay, I forgot about the RTG. I'm glad we have draconic armor. Anyways, I'm hoping we can shift click this, even with the NBT data on these resonant cell frames. Oh, and I put it on the wrong crafting grid as well, didn't I? I'm going to have to pick this up again. Okay, let's try this again. Please work. Oh no. Okay, I'll have to put in the recipe manually. Alright, something's not right here, and I don't know what it is. I think I have everything in the right place. Aha! I got it. It was these solar array controllers were mixed up. The two tier 5s have to go on these top and bottom slots, and I had them in the left and right slots. Anyways, there is the first creative item. Quest complete. As difficult as it is to get to this point in the pack, the reward for getting this is a command script. Oh well, we can stick it there for now. We don't really have a good use for it anyway. So now, what is the next goal then? I guess creative generator, since we're going to need to make this anyway. So this is a lot of high voltage solar arrays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 of them. I wonder if we can make 12. I have a feeling we can't. Yeah, we're short 4,000 plastic. Wow, okay. The only way to get plastic is this tiny dry rubber. Unless we can print it, actually. We might be able to print plastic using our replicator. Yeah, so it looks like we can print the plastic. I'm not sure exactly the UU cost, but if you look how fast we're getting UU matter, it's like over 1 millibucket a tick, which is insane. I think I'm pumping like 2.4 million into this, or maybe 2 million RF. I think our reactor's capable of 2.8 or 2.9 million, and I think we're only burning. I think we're only consuming in the region of like 300,000, excluding the replicator. So we're getting a lot of RF into this, over 1 million anyway. Even though this is going to be expensive, we don't really have that good a use for the UU matter at this point anymore, so we don't really need it. I should though, before I burn through it all, take some of it, because I know we need some for creative tank. I can't remember exactly if it's... Yeah, it looks like we need one portable tank, 32,000 millibuckets of UU matter. So let me grab that just now. So it looks like it's 108.5 millibuckets. Is that right? That seems really expensive. Yeah, that seems super expensive for plastic. And we need 4,000? That's going to be insane. We might have to come up with a different way of getting this. Anyways, I'll start off with that just now and come back to it. Maybe I'll have to change the recipe over for rubber, because that might be a bit easier to get. Because I think it's for these cables here, the tin cables and the gold cables that we need. And you can get rubber a bit faster by sawmill and rubber wood, and I can just tree farm this. I'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, let's just move on and see what else we need here. It's another 12 RTG fuels. Do we have enough for that? More plutonium. I can easily print that though. That's just another 12 plutonium. Plutonium. There we go. So I need what, 12? Alright, 12 RTG fuels please. And in fact, let's just swap over this recipe for creative Powercell into creative generator. Save that. And then let the AE system tell us what we need. So creative generator, index 1. We're missing steel casings, UU matter, and MFSUs. Maybe we can print the steel casings as well, because I know they are cheap. 1,000 is quite a lot. Let me get those first actually. Let's stop this plastic just now. Let me print some more steel casings. Alright, that should be the recipe for the MFSU. I had to put in the MFE one as well, so let's see if this works with the NBT data. Oops. Okay, it should craft. It looks like it's crafting, which is good. So what else do we need for this one? The steel casings, and that looks like about it. So it looks like we might be able to get this episode as well, actually, which is cool. Assuming we can get the plastic together. I guess these induction providers are also really big crafts, so I should kick that off as well. So how many do we need? 3, 6, 9, 12 of those as well. So ultimate induction providers, 12 of those. Oh right, that's what we need the steel casings for. 13,000 iron. 4,000 circuits, wow. 19,000 redstone. Yeah, these are expensive recipes now. Alright, let's just start with 6 just now, just to get those started on the crafts. While we wait for more steel casings. And then let's see what else is left. I think that's it. So I think what I'll do right now is set up some rubber production. It's a bit late in the game for rubber production, but I think I would rather do that than wait for all this plastic. I probably will end up printing it anyway, but I had to make this, farming. I had to make this farming station for an Ender IO quest, so I might just put this to use and make a rubber tree farm. Alright, so I started setting up this tree farm here using the Ender IO, what is it called? Farming station. Although it's complaining about tools and stuff, I made supremium axes and hoes, but we need a tree tap for this. And for some reason it isn't cutting these trees, so I don't really want to troubleshoot this anymore. It's probably more bother than it's worth. You can see like the outline of the old one here. I kind of moved this out of the way a little bit and set this back up, simplified the underneath a bit as well. So this is going to stay where it is, but I was also doing some quick maths on this plastic here, just so I could avoid doing this rubber setup. And at 108 millibuckets per tick, it's going to take, what does the calculator say again? 379,750 millibuckets, and we have 636,000 in order to get the 3,500-ish that we still need of plastic. So I'm just going to leave this printing plastic and not even bother with the rubber setup, because by the time we gather the rest of the materials here, I think this is going to be done anyway, with UU matter still left, so I don't think it's worth even setting all this up. I'm just going to tear this down and we'll move on to something else. Alright, so while we wait for these high voltage arrays, or the plastic to craft rather, I've cleaned up everything out here. Let's move on to the next creative item, I guess. So the next one on the quest is creative fluids, which is going to allow us to get into singularities. And creative fluids really is the key to finishing the game. So the creative fluid tank requires a lot of different random fluids and buckets. I started gathering some of them if we look at the recipe here. So yeah, like if we look at the fluids for the recipes here, we need like empowered oil, demon metal, draconium, blazing pyrotheum. There's a lot of things here that we just haven't got yet. Mostly this neutron fluid and tritium bucket we don't have, or sorry, we have the tritium, we don't have the neutron fluid. Sewage, essence, witch water, biomass, mutagen, fruit juice, liquid DNA. Yeah, the empowered oil, this is what I was meaning by the canola in the quest earlier on, so we're going to have to do that for empowered. However, the toughest thing to get is this neutron fluid, which only comes from the fusion reactor. And I think that's going to take a while to process, because it's a byproduct of this. It's not like in the inputs or anything. You get it from fusion reacting like these combinations, so we're going to have to set up a fusion reactor from Nuclearcraft. And I'd like to get that going, so let's think about the best way to power this that gives us neutron fluid. So it looks like it's not all the same amounts. It's either 5 or 10 millibuckets per cycle, I guess. Let me think about this and I'll come back when I have something decided on which fuel I'm going to use, and I'll probably make all the ingredients as well. This isn't too difficult anyway. These are used in the generator anyway, we need 4 of them. So I'm thinking for the fuel we use tritium here, since we already produce it for our other reactor here, for this reactor from Mechanism. And since we have already tons and tons of tritium, we only have to condense it into liquid here, which is what I'm doing. And since we don't need a permanent setup, I'm just going to tear this down after we don't need it. But we need a couple of 100 buckets of this. So I'm just going to fill this tank with liquid tritium and then move it over to the reactor, which I'm yet to build, but I believe I have all the materials here. I might need some more electromagnets, but I'm not actually sure where I'm going to put this. We're kind of like out of space inside the walls. I might have to go underground, which is something I wanted to avoid, but maybe I'll just do it for this occasion. Question is though, where do I want to put it underground? You know what, I think it's appropriate just to put it underneath this one. We'll have 3 reactors stacked on top of each other. We'll have the extreme reactors, and then the mechanism one, and the Nuclearcraft one right underneath. So maybe I'll just build another little staircase that goes down the way here. Like maybe down here, build a room for it. Since it doesn't need to be that big, we can just make it minimum size. Since we're only really after like 2 buckets of neutron fluid out of it, I'll probably just build out a little room here for it, and then yeah, call it a day. The last time, I might put a picture of it on screen here. The last time I built this reactor, I made it massive. Like I don't know if it was max size, but I made a pretty big reactor the first time I played this pack. And I thought that looked pretty cool, but yeah, this time we're just going for a small one, just to get the job done. So I'm going to build this out, wait for this tank to fill up of our fuel, and then we'll start fusion. I think I have the reactor now built, so in order to... Oh, it looks like I'm missing a couple of more coils here. It's kind of hard to see, but anyway, it's like a donut sort of ring without the corners of these electromagnets, and then you put the fusion core in the center, and then you can have fusion connectors. Anyway, so you need to power these electromagnets, which I think take 50 RF a tick to power. Yeah, 50 RF a tick per block. And I had a bunch of these power cells that I yoinked when I switched over to Flux networks. So I'm just using them to power these magnets. And then we have to obviously fuel this, and then we'll get our outputs over here, which we can then pump out of this fusion core. So we're almost ready. I haven't checked on how much fuel we have. Alright, I think we now have everything we need. So I have about nearly 400 buckets liquid tritium here to fuel it. I think all our electromagnets are now powered. We have to also power this core as well. So just put an extra power cell in there. And then we can just put our... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. We can put our tank down and then empty this. And it looks like it started up, so... Or no, we're already making neutron fluid, so it looks like it's already starting. I don't think we're making power yet because we aren't up to temperature. You can see the temperature is rising by 50,000 Kelvin per tick, which actually is quite high. I know that we can overheat this as well, but I'm not sure... Actually, I'm not sure how to turn this off. Maybe if we just not power it. I don't want to blow this whole place up. It's just curious, why are we not generating power? I don't remember exactly how this works. I'm just kind of going off the wiki here, so... I obviously missed something. But we are getting the neutron fluid that we need, so I should get a tank for that. Okay, we have the tank here for neutron fluid. Like I said, we only need 2 buckets of this, and then we can turn this off. But yeah, the temperature, I believe once it gets to 200, or is it 2 million kilokelvin, this is going to explode, but it's not going to get there before we reach 2 buckets. We're already at 360 millibuckets. So I think we're safe just to leave this to build up for now. I will, however, make a backup just in case. Because at this point, I don't really want anything catastrophic going wrong. Looks like we're also producing power as well, 87 RF a tick. So it is, as I suspected, we just weren't up to temperature enough. I think there's an optimal temperature for each recipe. So like for example, liquid hydrogen or hydrogen helium. The optimal temperature you see in the yellow there is 55 or 5,874 megakelvin. To make 57,000 RF a tick is like the optimal. And for the one we're running, tritium is 4,722, and we are nowhere near that right now. This is in kilokelvin, so yeah, that's going to keep building up. Anyways, we're getting our neutron fluid. We're at 600 millibuckets now. I'll keep an eye on this. But in the meantime, let's check on what else we need to make. Actually, let's check on the plastic. Let's see how many plastic we're missing. I did empty that chest once while I was getting the stuff ready for fusion. and it is full again, so I believe we need, oh yeah, we're way over. We can turn this off now, and we're still left with 342,000 millibuckets, which is quite nice. So we can now start crafting our creative power cell. Actually, I think I should start the crafts on these high voltage. So it was 12 we needed. Oh, we're still short 1,000. Well, let's start 6 just now anyway, and I'll keep printing the other 1,000 that we need, because this takes a lot of crafting. Yeah, like it's gonna take what, 12,000 plates. So that might take our system a little while. I'll go turn this replicator back on. Just a little bit more. And well, those 2 things are now started. There is one thing we need to do, and that is kill the Chaos Guardian. Don't know if we'll get to that today. Maybe we'll start with that next time. But we can start getting all the other fluids that we need here. So we'll put all the fluids we need in here. So I already have a bucket of a lot of things in here that I know we need. Alright, they're all pinned here. Let's just remove them as we get them. So I'm just starting to go through the list here of all the things we need. I got our primal mana. Remember, this primal mana is used in the carpenter. I won't show us here, but yeah, used in the carpenter. I got already 1 bucket of neutron fluid, so that is good to take off the list. Let's see what else we have in our system here. I think we have Mirion. Yeah, we have Mirion, so we can take that off. Tritium. I think this tritium we need to get from Nuclearcraft, so we have to electrolyze it the Nuclearcraft way. Right now we're using mechanism electrolyzers, and that gives us the mechanism tritium, and we need the Nuclearcraft version. So I'm gonna have to make one of these, and since we already make heavy water, that's easy. I can just put an ender tank down. Let me do that, and we'll get this out of the way. It probably was a bad idea to start up this these high voltage arrays, because it's taken up all my machines here, and when I tried to craft this electrolyzer, it's like stuck waiting on. Well, I don't think it's waiting on the pressurizers anymore, because I cut in line here. Like, there was some copper here that needed stuff, but it's waiting on item casings right now. I can't remember exact. This is a problem when you have a base this big. I really can't remember where I'm making item casings. I think it's down here somewhere. Could be one of these machines. Ah yeah, here, we're making item casings. So if we like give it bronze, I'm not sure if that counts as completing the craft. No, I don't actually want to take that out, because that'll mess with this. But it's still got 6,000 left to go. Oh man. You know what, let's move on from this this thing here, and I'll leave our heavy water here just to remind us. So what's next then? What else can we get so far? I think I seen we have witch water. Yeah, I picked up a bucket of this way at the beginning of the game. So let's witch water out of the way. Sewage. I'm pretty sure I set up a sewage thing like around episode 4 or something like that, around here. So these animals should have sewage here. Please move out of the way. There we go. There's sewage. Sewage is done. Nice. And an extra bucket just in case we need some more later on. Molten clay. I think I had molten clay when I was making what was that again? I was making Osgo glass, or is it Mirion or something like that? It's in one of these alloy tanks down here. I'm sure I have it anyway. No, that's seared stone. I'm gonna have to melt it. That's alright. I can use one of these melters, I think, if I disable the output on this. Active with signal, and then just get some clay. Time in a bottle this. Okay, that's plenty. That is plenty. And we'll get, I guess, 2 buckets. We can just void this, and then turn this back on. And done. Take that off our list. This tritium, we're coming back to that. Refined fuel. How do we get refined fuel? We need naphtha from crude oil. We have crude oil. Remember, we pumped that for, I don't know what it was for. Can't even remember now. But we have the distillation tower. We should have crude oil. And that, I think, is in an ender tank, actually. Crude oil's black, black, black. If we take an ender tank... Oh, you stuck as well. You're waiting on plates. Okay, aluminium, where are you? Cut the line here. Give me aluminium plates, please. And there's my ender tank. So what was it again? Black, black, black. So I need ink sacks. Apparently we're out of crude oil. I must have turned off the pump, so I can easily turn that back on. There should still be enough in here, or in this vein, in this chunk, whatever it is. Are we now getting crude oil again? Yes, we are. I bet it's all being distilled though. I should probably turn off the distillery. This is the new interior of our distillery room. I just built this today actually, but I haven't touched this since we last used it. Yeah, it's all being distilled, so I need to stop the input on this, which is here. So don't extract, please. Yeah, now we're getting oil, and then what was it we had to do again? We have to fractionate and still this twice. So we should just be able to put these right here actually, and just chain them together, and then give them power. I love this part in the game where you can just set up things like this, and yeah, collecting these fluids, I like it. Anyways, we can probably set wait, we can just set this lower or higher priority, I mean, and then extract here. Always active. This should be running, and then this gives us refined fuel. Nice. So I'll just make 2 buckets of this again, and that'll be one more off our list. Actually, while that's running, how's our plastic doing? So I need another 1,000-ish. I have 1,056 in my inventory. Alright, my game almost just crashed there. It froze for quite a while. To be honest, my TPS is still really good. It's still 20. But I do get these occasional like lag spikes where the FPS goes to like 0 for a split second. And that time it was a bit longer than usual. So anyways, we have essence. I'm sure I took a bucket of that from somewhere. If not, we can easily get that. Let's also craft more buckets as well. Oh no, but this requires plates as well. Look, we're making 17,000 iron plates here. It's gonna take so long, and this is only for 6 high voltage array. We need 6 more. This is gonna take forever. It says 10 minutes. I don't know if I believe that though. Man, we can't do anything. We're tied up here. Anyways, let's get some essence. I think I have essence in this tank. Yeah, I do. We can take 2 buckets of that. That's another thing we can do easily. So that's essence. Put one away and take it off the list. Resonant Ender. I think I'm making that passively over here somewhere. No, it's upstairs. It's upstairs. Should be in this one. No, that's redstone. Ender. Here we are. There's 2 buckets of ender. Or resonant ender. Take that off the list. We're going through these pretty quick. What else is easy? Oh, the refined fuel. I wonder how that's doing now. Let's check on that. How much refined fuel? Oh yeah, we're already at 10 buckets. And I'm out of buckets. Oh, I actually did craft those extra buckets. So this system can come down. We don't need this anymore. I know that just voided a bunch of fluid, but I don't need it. So there's refined fuel. What's next? Pyrotheum. We can do this as well. In fact, I already have a bucket of pyrotheum. So there we go. There's pyrotheum. Molten demon metal. Do we have more demon metal? Oh yeah, we still have 300 ingots. I think. Oh, it has to be in a melter. Okay then, we can use our tinker smeltery. I thought we could use it in the Nuclearcraft melter since that would be faster, but we can use this thing that we haven't used since I don't know how long. So, or maybe not. Alright, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I've set up this melter here with blazing pyrotheum. We're getting demon metal here. And then I think I also got the gelid cryotheum. I just put that in this magma crucible. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't recording there. That was a bit weird. I think it was my mistake, to be fair. But yeah, we're blazing through this. We're getting through this really quick. And then I've set up also the electrolyzer here to make tritium. I don't know why I have all this deuterium. I need to trash it all, basically. Yeah, so somehow the electrolyzer managed to craft. It slipped through the cracks here. I think all the tin item or the item casings for this were finished, so it was able to craft what it needed. We're just missing like 6,000 iron plates. And that reminds me, I should go and turn off the plastic, because we're bound to have enough by now. For the rest of these. Yeah, stop, don't make any more, please. And I'm not sure if I managed to, or I'm not sure if it was recording when I showed the reactor either. The update on the reactor, so we did get the things we needed from this, so I'm just going to let this run out. We're running out of fuel here. We already have the 2 buckets of neutron fluid that we need, and this is cooling down, so yeah, this is now a relic. We no longer need this. It's done its job. And there's our buckets of tritium here that we need. So that's one more thing off the list. Next up, let's tackle, I don't know, molten draconium. That should be easy. That's just some draconium in a magma crucible. We can do that. Bam. 2 buckets. There we go. There we go. There's 2 buckets. Chuck that one away. Take that off our list. Next up, I think we'll do petroleum. This seems very easy as well. That's just petroleum dust. I think we have that on Autocraft. Petroleum, yep. Give me 10 of those. Magma crucible U. Oh yeah, I have the gauge dropper. We can use this. And then 8 of those in there. That should give us 2 buckets. It's the same as the other ones. Yes, it is. There's 1. Put that away. Take that off our list. And there's 2 buckets. Put this one away as spare. And our demon metal's now finished as well, so we can put this away. I guess I'll make spares as well. So I think we're running out of easy things to get here. We're left with a bunch of things that take some extra steps, so let's just tackle this. Or maybe not actually, I missed this Zephyrian. That's just erothium dust, so we can get that out of the way. 10 of those, same deal. So there's 2 buckets of that. Right now, surely we're getting onto the harder things. Actually, this episode's running really long here, so I'm going to cut it. Next time we will tackle the rest of the fluids. And hopefully get our creative tank. Oh, we'll have to also fight the Guardian as well, so we'll do that. But yeah, next time should be the creative tank and also the power cell, or the generator. We should have all the things we need for that as well. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.